Hi fam, my name is Cassie, and today I'm here to tell you the story about how I almost died. If you're new to this channel, hi, welcome. A little fact about me, I am completely accident prone. I have made a video about how ridiculously accident prone I am. Plug. Ding, 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 ding. But yes, I am extremely accident prone, and my family is afraid to take me anywhere because without fail, on vacation anywhere, I will get hurt. I will almost die. It happens every time, without fail, every time. But I'm here to go into more detail about what happened that day. I went on vacation in Cape Cod. Everything was going really great until the last day. I was like, I'm gonna make it out of this alive. I was 100% sure that I was gonna get eaten by a shark. I left and I was like, well, I guess this is goodbye because it doesn't matter if I just sat on the beach. I'm gonna get eaten by a shark. My cousin bought this giant swan. Now, everyone was hanging out on the beach. It was the last day, the day before we were leaving. We were leaving the next morning. We were just hanging out on the beach, and my cousin and I said, let's go float on the swan and lay out on the water and chill with the swan. We pushed the swan out, we got on top of the swan, and we were just laying on our back, just looking at the sky, just talking about how fragile life is. And we've been out there for what felt like 2 minutes, but maybe it was like 5 minutes, maybe. We look up and we're a good mile from shore. We're a good mile from shore. Now we are on this giant floaty. We just say, oh, let's just start kicking back. We'll just lay out on one side and just float on the floaty and just kick back to shore. No problem. We get on one side, and it's probably a combination of, number one, I'm fat, and number two, the current was actually really strong. I didn't realize how strong it pulled us and how strong it was until we were where we were. Basically, the swan flipped. The swan flipped. The swan flipped. Now, we both fall into the water. We're like, oh, this is fun. And the swan is drifting away. Now, keep in mind, we're about a mile out. We were far. So Evan and I are on the floaty way out there, and we fell off. And everyone thought we were drowning, so they called the cops. Yeah. And we're fine. I'm not a bad swimmer, so I start Michael Phelpsing it up in here. I'm swimming, I'm trying to get the swan, but the current is it's too strong. So I swim about a good another 15, 20 feet out to try to grab this swan, and I was so close to it, and it wasn't gonna happen. I couldn't get this swan. So I look back at my cousin, and I'm like, oh crap, we're in the middle of the ocean. And the first thing I said is, yep, bye. This is where I get eaten by the shark. I wasn't even freaking out. I was accepting my fate. I was like, yep. So this is how we die. This is my time. This is where I get eaten by the shark. I don't know if they're gonna eat you. They're totally gonna eat me though. So bye. I just look at my cousin. I'm like, well, let's just start swimming. Not knowing what's underneath you. The ocean is a scary place. I hate the ocean. I hate it. Not knowing what's underneath you is the scariest thing ever. So just floating there and feeling so vulnerable in the middle of the ocean. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. And then we start swimming together, and we notice that one of our floaties is kind of like going off in the distance. So I'm like, we should probably try to swim towards that. It's out of our way, but we should try to swim towards that. We see this gentleman behind the floaty, and he is on another floaty himself, and he's bringing us this floaty. And then we finally reach this man, and he hands us our floaty, and we're like, wow, thanks, dude. That was really nice. We fell off our swan. Did you see us? I mean, it was kind of crazy. It was a crazy ordeal. Did they notice on shore? Like, did they see, oh God, my cousin Maddie's gonna kill me because we lost her swan? It's a crazy deal. What's going on shore? Well, I'm super glad you guys are okay, but you're gonna have a story when you get back on shore. What do you mean? And he's like, yeah, your family called the police and the Coast Guard and the ambulance. Oh no. Oh no. See, to us, it wasn't that serious. We were just like, oh God, now we gotta swim back all this way. Now we gotta swim. It wasn't anything life or death. We weren't drowning. But on shore, they didn't know that. They were for sure that we were dead. They were for sure. So the guy gives us the floaty and he heads off because he knows we're okay and everything's good. And we see that our other floaty is off in the distance, so we're like, we can't lose 2 floaties in one day. We were just so concerned about the floaties. We're like, we have to get the floaties. We get to the floaty, we climb up on the rocks. My family's there, and they're like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And we're just like, no, but we climb on the rocks. We're like, yeah, we're good, we're fine. And then we see all of the police and all of the ambulances and all of the sirens. Everything just, it starts coming. It's there, it starts coming. We notice that 2 of them are walking back towards us, and we kind of just meet halfway with them. They weren't happy. They were actually pretty upset with us, I think. Yes, it's their job, that's what they do, but everything was okay, and they were very upset that I was laughing. They're like, we're gonna go get your swan for you, and I was like, you don't have to do that. Like, that's besides the point. He's like, this isn't a laughing matter, and I'm like, I'm sorry, it wasn't that serious. And then they're like, do you need medical assistance? Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And I look down and my leg is just like bleeding. I'm like, oh, I guess I didn't see that. And then we have to take the walk of shame with the cops, and we have to walk back to our little beach area where we were all sitting. My grandma was like hiding underneath her shirt of embarrassment. Grandma's so embarrassed.
Grandma's got her shawl ready.
It was so crazy. And the floaties were floating everywhere because my uncle just started like throwing them, trying to give them to us like offshore. And my cousin Maddie was not mad that we lost her swan. She was actually very scared for us, and she was gonna go like be the hero and dive in the water after us. And everyone was like, no, you can't swim out there. You can't do that. It was just so crazy. Everyone was so scared. And apparently everybody on shore was just flipping. Every single person's like, oh my God, they're drowning. But to Evan and I, yes, this is a very serious issue, and the cops did the right thing. And but to us, it was just like, oh goodness, we fell in the water. Now we got to swim a mile. You know what I mean? It wasn't that serious in our position, but it was. So they were gonna go get the swan because they can't have a swan floating in the middle of the ocean because they're gonna get a lot of calls, and a lot of people are gonna be very concerned if they see a swan floating in the middle of the ocean because they're gonna be like, where's the person that was on the swan? The Coast Guard got the swan, and my aunt was like, well, can we have the swan back? And they're like, yeah, you can have the swan back, but you have to come to headquarters or wherever to get it. You have to come get it. It's a swan, but
Did they pop it?
they probably inflated it. The adventures he saw.
He's back.
Just like the swan just floating in the middle of the ocean makes me giggle. I don't know why. They did end up popping it. They didn't pop it like it'll be easy to patch, but they popped the swan. And we all lived to see another day. I didn't die. Yay! And it made for a very funny and interesting story that will be a continuous laughing stock in our family. Oh, that and when my aunt fell down the stairs. That's the story. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you haven't already, please go check out my vlog from my vacation. It's a fun adventure. So I suggest you go check it out. Plug. I hope you guys enjoyed this story very much. If you did, be sure to give it a like and let me know down in the comment section. I love you guys very much, and I will see you back here in my next video. Bye! I should have done it like this. Bye! Donna. I'll go.